The first thing we're gonna do here is that we're gonna learn some flashes or some stun grenades. And the first one is a stun grenade that flashes the backside and also at the same time in this corner over here. So it's great for people that come down here and also for you entering site. So what you want to do, you can throw this grenade from anywhere on the ramp here. And you're gonna throw with your crosshair under this little like pillar thing here. So you can see it flashes the backside. And it also goes into that little corner, which most likely you want to combine this with a wall. And I recommend doing the wall into this box and not over the box. So usually people would do it like this. And so the wall is going over the box. But since we also have a grenade which stuns the backside, the wall is going to be hindering us. So I highly recommend just throwing it into the wall. So you can clear the backside by yourself, because you obviously just stunned this and you know the wall would just hinder you killing the person. Another cool flashbang which you can use if you want to enter from main is throwing a flash under this like little box over here, somewhere in this area. It doesn't have to be perfect, so somewhere like this. And this also stuns this corner. Same stun, it goes back here, and it also stuns this corner. If you aim over this entire area and you throw a stun here, it obviously flashes this area, but it also flashes this area. And since you throw this stun first, this goes off before the other one, and then you can pop this corner and kill the person here. Another cool stun which you can use on a side to help out your teammates, actually, when you come from short, is throw a stun at this wood plank here. This will stun the backside here, but more on this side and not so to this side, so it will not help you as much. But if you know that someone's entering like a rain or something, and you know that you're first here, you can throw this and help her to enter site. Also, if you cleared this corner and you know that no one is standing in heaven, but you're unsure if someone is standing here or like in CT, then you can throw a wall up like this, where you jump and then look with your crosshair at this top wall here. If you're gonna do that, the wall will still go through, and you can see you kind of cut off this side over there and can enter with your team. So a pretty cool retake stun grenade on A to clear under heaven and basically backslide so nobody peeks you while you run out there. It is throwing a stun at this particular point. You don't throw it at this like specific point, like the corner here. You're gonna throw it a little bit more up here. The reason for that is because if you throw it like this, it perfectly clears the entirety of under heaven. But if you, for whatever reason, throw it to a little bit under, it doesn't clear the full backside here, so there's people that could stand there. Or if you throw it too high, you can see that it just basically just flies in there and people can stand in front of here. So make sure that you hit about this area over here when you try to clear under heaven with your stun grenade, and you should be good to go. And a combination play could look like this. You're going to throw up a wall like this. You're going to run down here. You're going to throw your nade. And then you can clear heaven. And the person that is standing behind here, if there's someone standing here, is obviously getting stunned or has to peek first. So in like if you do it like very carefully, you do it like this. You're going to stun. You're going to aim at this corner. No one here. You're going to quickly swing this corner and you're good to go. If you want to stun this cover here, there's a very easy way in how you can do that. All you have to do is basically aim at this like little brick, like missing brick over there. Just shoot it at there, and you know you have a very easy stun. Obviously, make sure that you don't run into your own stun here, but I think that is the easiest to remember on where you have to aim to fully stun this entire corner. There's also one last thing which I want to show you, and I only recommend this in a 1v1 situation where you know 100% that someone is standing under heaven. You can actually throw a stun on top of here and then stun the person under it. Obviously, you have to be very fast to jump out of the window and then shoot the person while the stun is going off. In combination, this would look something like this. You have to stand very close to the window. You're going to throw the stun, jump out, and then you can shoot the person under here. It is not that easy to do, and I recommend practicing it because the timing of jumping out of here and the stun popping off is pretty hard. And sometimes you can actually flash yourself while doing that, and then you look like an idiot. When we come to mid, there's not much you can stun here, but there's still a lot of flashes you can do. So we have this main corner here, obviously, which are the most corners where people stand in. And you can very easily stun both of these corners by just throwing a flash at these two things. But I also recommend throwing a flash at these backside walls here. So something like this, for example, which is basically the same flash, but you also stun the backside here. You can obviously do the same thing over here. So you can throw a flash like this, stuns the same thing. And maybe leaves you a little bit more room to move into here. What you can also do is throw flash at these angled walls, and what that will do is basically stun this side, and it will also stun the other entrance. So if you don't have a smoke, this might be a good solution to help you to enter site a little bit more easily. And you can obviously do the same stun for the other one as well, but for this one you don't have to aim at this area, you have to aim a little bit more inside, because this one is a little bit more inside and this one goes a little bit more to this side. So you have to do something like this to stun this area. Most common stuns on Retake B is going to be this one against this wall here, which stuns the backside. So you have actually the entire backside stun, which is super useful. Also pretty common and useful one is this one over here, where you stun the floor here in front of this box. And obviously the planter usually sits here. If you're fast enough, you might catch him off guard, get him with a stun, and you can also stun this area over here if someone's entering from the other side. Also a pretty useful one is this stun over here. You're gonna throw your stun at this gong there. It stuns this and the backside here. So if you don't want to even go this way, you just want to check here, no one's there, and then you check backside, which is stunned. This is also pretty useful. You might ask why you just don't just do like this. Obviously, you have two stuns, so why waste one having them at the same spot when you can also stun at these areas as well. And you obviously can do the same thing on the other side, where you basically throw a stun here and you can stun this and the other side there as well. And the only stun that I use in double dose is the one that goes right down the middle, and this looks something like this. It stuns this area, stuns the window area. Pretty useful. The only thing that you have to take care of is that you should throw this nade from this side here, so to the right and not to the left, otherwise you will obviously stun this corner. Coming to C, the most common area where people usually stand is behind this box, and especially in here, I see a lot of people getting actually some pretty valuable kills from there. So a stun which you can use here is this one over here. You're gonna aim at like somewhere in this area here, so this one over here. So something like this, and you have a stun which covers this corner, covers this corner, and also this corner over here. So there's a pretty cool stun which you can use. One of the most common corners is this one over here, especially in ecos with shotguns, or if you play chamber, then this corner is probably one of your favorites. A stun for that is basically thrown way down in the middle of these 2 points here, something like this, and you have a nice stun there. It doesn't stun any of the teammates, and it fully stuns this corner. So to basically stun this backside over here or this area over there, you want to basically just throw a flash either to low here, so something like in this area, so you stun the lower side here, or if you throw it higher, it stuns the backside here. Make sure though that you check this corner if you throw the higher one, because it actually doesn't stun this area, and people could still very easily take you off without being stunned. And I think the most common one, and the easiest ones, is stunning the backside of box here. You just throw it against the wall. I don't think there's much to explain here. Super easy to do, and you're good to enter site. And yet again, if you want to do this with the wall, I would recommend doing the wall inside of this box and not over it. Otherwise, the person that stands behind here and maybe gets stunned from your flash or your stun actually cannot be seen and can escape too easy. So yeah, wow, that was good timing for Crash.